Bradford City continue their 2024-25 league campaign with a trip to Derek Adams Morecambe FC, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season, what my starting 11 would be if I was Graham Alexander. Now my team Bradford City, we currently sit 13th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 8 matches we've got 3 wins, 2 draws and 3 defeats, scoring 10 goals and conceding 9, which leaves us on a positive 1 goal difference and 11 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a loss, a draw, a loss, a win and a loss. So really poor form at the moment, just 1 win in our last 5, just 4 points picked up out of our last possible 15. Then last couple of matches then being a 2-1 defeat away at Harrogate. We were shocking for the first half an hour and not really much better after that, in all honesty. It was a mistake which allowed Andy Cook to pounce to get us a goal back in this game, but we didn't offer enough in front of goal, and it's been quite a consistent thing over our last couple of league away matches, and it is a little bit of a concern, our form away from home. But yeah, this was a really poor result for us, and again another really poor display. We also had a 0-0 draw at home to AFC Wimbledon. Both sides had some good chances in the game. I think if either team probably edged it, it would have just about been us. Obviously there was a mass confrontation at the end of the match near full time, but on the whole a point probably was a fair result. We also had a 3-0 win away at Mansfield in the Football League Trophy group stage match. Oliver Poynton and Adore finding themselves on the score sheet. We were excellent in this game, thoroughly deserved the win, definitely deserved the win. We were excellent in front of goal, brilliant defensively, and obviously against a very good League One side. Yes, they made changes, but still obviously great for the confidence. We also had a 2-1 defeat away at Walsall. We were really poor again in this game. The penalty wasn't a penalty, but they should have had another penalty about 5 minutes later, so I guess they evened themselves out. Ollie Sanderson scored a really good goal after that, and they obviously won the game just minutes from time through Danny Johnson. A free header inside the penalty area is absolutely criminal. They had some really good chances in the game. They should have probably been 3-0 up before they even scored their goal. So yeah, on the whole, another really poor game for us, and away from home again another match where we had started really poor. It's the last 3 league away games we've started shockingly in the first 20 minutes, half an hour, and it cannot continue in this game, or Morecambe will get ahead and we will find it difficult to break them down. And then just before that one, we had a 2-1 win at home to Carlisle United. A thoroughly deserved win. Great for Andy Cook to finally get his goals against Carlisle. It should have been a clean sheet. Obviously Sam Walker 3-1 into the back of his own net and somehow didn't go down as an own goal, but Andy Cook with the brace, and that was enough for us to secure all 3 points in that game. And since then in the league it's kind of been downhill, to be honest. Compared though to Morecambe FC, they currently sit 23rd in the League 2 table. They're now off bottom of the table. After 8 matches they've got no wins, 3 draws and 5 defeats, scoring 6 goals and conceding 11, which leaves them on a -5 goal difference and 3 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a draw, a loss and a loss. They lost their first 5 matches 1-0, and recently they have obviously drawn their last couple of matches, so they're on okay form considering where everybody expected Morecambe to be at the start of the season. A lot of people thought Morecambe would go down. I backed them to finish 17th, and as of right now they are obviously currently in the relegation zone and 3 points from safety. Their last couple of matches though, them being a 1-1 draw at home to Notts County. I watched this game, obviously Bradford with the early kick-off, decided to tune in for this one, and obviously 2 former Bantams scored in Lee Angle and Matty Platt. I think I'm right in saying Lee Angle went off injured in this game. Caden Harak was sent off as well. Jan Songo before this game was 1 yellow card away from hitting the 5 yellow card mark, and obviously would have been suspended, so Derek Adams put him on the bench and didn't play him all game, so he'd be fit and available for this one against Bradford City. But obviously Morecambe, a few of our former players played in this game. Luke Hendry, Lee Angle, like I say, Jan Songo on the bench as well, and to be fair, Morecambe were robbed in the game. From what I saw, that ball did go over the line, and I feel like Morecambe should have come away from that game with all 3 points. I did also watch their match away at Fleetwood. They drew 2-2 in this game. I say I watched the first half and then didn't really catch much of the second half, but Jan Songo scored in this one, obviously live on the telly. Fleetwood dominated the first 60 minutes or so. They brought off some of their better players. Danny Mayer, I think Ryan Graydon also came off as well, and they lost their control in the game. Morecambe managed to find themselves back into it despite not really having much of the ball, and Fleetwood having 25 shots. They dominated that first half, but some early subs in the second half from Charlie Adam kind of killed their momentum. They also had a 3-3 draw at home to Colchester. Luke Hendry was sent off in this game. They were obviously 2 goals down with 8 minutes to go, managed to pull it back and rescue a point in this game. Again, They don't have much possession, they concede a lot of shots, but they just about managed to have that mentality to get over the line and rescue a point in that game. They also had a 1-0 defeat away at Crewe. Is a penalty from Kane Hemmings. To be fair, Morecambe were actually the better side in this game, probably deserved at least a point, if not all three, but they weren't good enough in both boxes, and in the end it obviously cost them an extra point, or potentially 3 in that match. And just before that one, they had a 2-1 win away at Wigan in the Football League Trophy. Langle again scoring in that game. They only had 19% possession in that match, which is absolutely crazy, but it goes to show that you don't necessarily need possession if you're going to score goals. They only attempted 165 passes throughout the whole match and only had a 60% passing accuracy. That is absolutely crazy, but like I say, Morecambe obviously have been shocking so far this season, as they would expect. I really do hope they can get their off-the-field issues sorted. Their owner should never be there in a million years, but the fact that the EFL have allowed that to happen once again to another club is absolutely disgusting, and I kind of hope that they do get it sorted, because I quite like Morecambe as an away day. Obviously, they don't have a particularly great track record there. Obviously, they beat us 3-0 last season in that fixture, and that was kind of the big start of the downfall for Mark Hughes. But the return of Derek Adams, seeing a few former players there as well, it's all written in the stars for probably a Morecambe win, their first one of the season, as obviously they haven't won yet in their first opening 8 league matches. But now we're going to get into the team that I would go with if I was Graham Alexander. But before we do go any further with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 50 likes on today's video? That would be massively appreciated. And don't forget as well to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match, and what would your starting 11 be as well if you were Graham Alexander. Now, I was umming and ahhing, do I stick with the 4-4-2? Do I go back to the back three? Looking at the players who are obviously fit and available at the moment, we're kind of working with an 18-man squad plus Haydy and Wadsworth at the moment, so there's not really much you can do. I've decided though to change formation. I don't think we're being creative enough in front of goal, so I've gone back to the 3-5-2 in hope that yes, you might have to play a few players out of position, but it creates a bit more, and obviously the players are obviously a bit more used to playing in this system, so I'd personally go back to the 3-5-2. In goal, I've gone with Sam Walker. I don't think he was poor against Harrogate, to be fair. I actually thought he was one of the better players. He made some really good saves early on in the game, 2 or 3 really nice saves. I don't think he can do much about the first goal. Second goal, maybe a few question marks over, the angle's a bit tight and it seems to go under him a little bit too easy for me, but I thought his distribution actually was really good at the weekend against Harrogate, and obviously he's much better than Colin Doyle, so he definitely starts in between the sticks. In terms of my back three then, obviously we've only got 2 centre-halves available, so you can probably kind of guess what this back three is going to be. At right centre-back, I've gone with Czech Diabate. I actually thought he was poor against Harrogate, in all honesty. I've been a big fan of Diabate so far, but he had a really poor game at the weekend. So fingers crossed that doesn't continue in this game, but the first 20-30 minutes or so, he was completely asleep in that one. So yeah, fingers crossed he's much more awake in this game, seeing as though it is a much later kickoff. In the middle, I've gone with Jack Shepherd. I don't think he was awful against Harrogate, but I don't think he was particularly amazing either. I think he could maybe position himself a bit better for their first goal as well, and some of the passes he was making, he was trying to clip the ball in behind but constantly hitting out of play for goal kicks. It happened a good 3 or 4 times and that frustrated me a little bit, so hopefully playing in the middle he doesn't have to deal with them sort of diagonal balls as much. And at left centre back, I've gone with Lewis Richards. If you're going to play a back three, you've only got 2 centre halves available. Lewis Richards is the only other player to have natural centre half experience, with obviously Baldwin, Byrne, Kelly and Johnson all out injured. I don't mind Richards as a left centre back. He's got the physicality to certainly play there, and I'm not sure he's got the legs or energy to play as a wing back in an Alexander system. I certainly think he's much better as a full back or a left sided centre half, so I'll go with the back three of Diabate, Shepherd and Richards. As my hold midfielder, I've gone with the captain, Richie Smallwood. It always seems to be that if he has a bad game, then we as a team have a bad game, which is a concern. We've obviously got no competition for him. He's looking a little bit leggy, a little bit tired at this moment in time. I've been a big fan of Smallwood, but the last couple of league away games I do think he has been quite poor in, and it's a bit of a concern. Hopefully though he gets up for this game against Morecambe, he kind of hopefully we'll know what it's like to play against Derek Adams and the kind of things that come with it, and he can lead us through the match, because obviously when he's on it, he just makes the whole team a lot better, and we need him to be on it in this game. In terms of my right wing back, I've gone with Jay Ben. He absolutely has to start in this game. Brad Halliday has been really poor so far this season, and at the weekend was massively at fault for their second goal. Jay Ben came on at half time off the bench and I thought looked really good. He's looked promising in the minutes that he's had so far. His crosses look really good as well, so as a wing back with a bit less defensive pressure, pressure, I think he could be a really good player for us. In terms of my two central midfielders, firstly I've gone with Jamie Walker. I think we're going to need that experience in the midfield. It was Derek Adams who first brought Jamie Walker to the football club on loan from Hearts many moons ago now, and Walker will know what it's like to play in these fixtures against a Derek Adams team. His experience can hopefully maybe nibble one of their players, if Lee Angle's fit and available, into a red card or something like that, because Angle can do them stupid things. Walker's a good wind-up merchant, and when again you look at your player availability, I want experience in this team as much as possible. And partnering him, I'd go Alex Patterson. I feel like he wasn't bad against Harrogate, just a bit ineffective. We know Patterson can be very good, but we need him further forward. We need him in them attacking areas, and this formation would get the best out of Patterson. We've not seen much of Walker and Patterson play together so far. Lots of legs, lots of energy in there, and hopefully they can run all over that Morecambe side, who are going to be on it. They're going to work 110%. While they might like the quality, they're going to work very hard, and we need Walker and Patterson to try and counteract that. At left wing back, I've gone with Clark Adore. I thought he came on off the bench at the weekend and kind of kept the ball very well, added a bit of tempo to our game, and I wanted to get him into this side. And looking at the system, left wing back is definitely the best position for him. If you've got Richards in left centre back, Tyreek Wright not really looking interested a lot of the time, and when it's cold on a Tuesday night, I think he'd look even less interested, to be honest. So Clark Adore for me has that technical ability going forward, so he would start at left wing back. As my two strikers, firstly Andy Cook, great for him to finally get another league goal as well. I think his first league away goal of the season, up to 6 now in all competitions, 4 in the league, 1 in the Carabao Cup and 1 in the Football League Trophy as well. Where would we be without this man? He's comfortably the best player in this team, and the fact that we've had him for so long and we've still not managed to get a squad around him which is good enough for promotion is criminal. We had a season where he scored 31 goals and we still only made the playoffs. We are a one-man band, a one-man team for the large part, and God knows where we'd be without him, and God knows where we're going to be when he does eventually retire with Bradford City. And partnering him, I'll go with Ollie Sanderson. It was kind of a toss-up between anyone. I don't think anyone's been amazing in the last few matches. Sanderson is probably the best out of all of them though, and has had goal contributions so far this season, but I think he has been very, very ineffective recently. While he's had the odd goal contribution here and there, I've just not seen enough on a consistent basis, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Callum Kavanagh start in this match, in all honesty. On the bench then for me, it would leave Colin Doyle, Brad Halliday, Tyreek Wright, Bobby Poynton, Tyler Smith, Callum Kavanagh and Den Oliver. The players currently unavailable are Aidan Baldwin and Neil Byrne. Hopefully them two are back for the weekend. Kieran Kelly, Callum Johnson, Anthony Starcevic and Joe Adams, who's obviously going to miss the full season now with the ACL injury. So the players who miss out then through selection will be Zach Hady and Gabriel Wadsworth. If you want to know my score prediction, head over to the main channel right now, and I guess you can go find out over there.